Welcome to Coruzant Technologies, home of the Digital Executive Podcast.
Welcome to the Digital Executive. Today's guest is David Stein. David Stein is the CEO and co-founder of Ash Wellness, a B2B at-home diagnostic company launching remote care services for healthcare organizations and direct-to-consumer businesses. Ash Wellness offers white label operations management, testing via a CLIA or CAP certified lab network, kitting and fulfillment, and modern technology infrastructure. In his role, David is responsible for mission, vision, strategy, oversight, fundraising, and corporate development. He lives in New York City and is a graduate of the Cornell Tech MBA program. Well, good afternoon, David. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You're very, very welcome. I appreciate it. A start of a new day with another great guest on the podcast. So, David, we're going to jump right into the questions here. We want to hear more about your story. You've got quite the career in technology, a serial entrepreneur, and now the co-founder and CEO of Ash Wellness. Could you share with our audience the secret to your career growth and what inspires you?
Absolutely. I think no real secret sauce here, aside from the fact that I found an area or space and cause that I really care about. And it all started with making sexual health more inclusive and accessible. And through the roller coaster of startups, the unrelenting kind of ups and downs, just being so passionate about that has, I think, led me to where I am. But yeah, I would say just generally, the inspiration for it all really is my parents. They both came to America from South Africa as physicians and retrained here and worked really hard to get, where they are. And I saw how hard they worked. And I think that's where I kind of got my knack for that.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you sharing that. So, we all had to struggle a little bit during the lockdown, the pandemic, right? But what was your single biggest business decision you had to make during that first year? And how different is your business strategy today?
Yeah, absolutely. So we actually launched Ash as a direct consumer at-home testing company for sexually transmitted infections, focusing on the LGBTQ plus community. But we launched, a D2C brand selling STI testing kits to a nation, basically as COVID hit. And we were trying to sell, tests that were encouraging people to have sex and get tested. In the midst of a pandemic, which was telling people to stay at home and not touch each other. And so very quickly, we had to pivot and make a different business strategy as a result. And so we moved to the B2B side and now exclusively help other provider partners turn on at-home testing kits. And so I think the pandemic not only, changed our business model entirely, and as a result, it's been super lucrative, but it also brought forth kind of the consumer adoption of at-home testing kits.
Making things convenient just from the comfort of your home or at lockdown of your home, right?
Correct.
So awesome. So David, talk a little about, we're a technology platform. We focus on emerging tech and startups. And we wanted to ask you, you're probably leveraging some newer and emerging technologies within your business, right? Is there anything you might be able to share with us today?
Yeah, I think one thing that we've seen as a reason our partners come and work with Ash and choose us is our lab API. So we work with a number of labs across the US that specialize in at-home self-testing kits and just everything that goes with that, I guess. But all that being said is their technology tends to be very dated and old. And so we've built this lab API that sits on top of all of these labs and integrates with them and gives our partners and our customers the ability to connect to these labs very quickly and easily. So I think one thing that we found has been kind of, the secret sauce and just in terms of getting people to market with at-home testing kits is the ability to connect into our API and have access to all of our labs, testing in all 50 states for over 100 different types of tests. And doing that yourself and working with these labs one-on-one can be very difficult and timely. And so I think, that's the most recent kind of piece of tech that we're probably most proud of.
Thank you for sharing. That's awesome. Love the tech side of things. And again, can't wait to get this story out to our audience. So, David, last question here. We just want to ask you a question about your career experience and maybe something that you could share that would be helpful for those looking to grow their career, whether it's in tech, entrepreneurship, or even, healthcare.
I think, I mean, it kind of goes back to your first question around, my career growth and what inspires me. And I think, honestly, it's finding something that you're super passionate about and that you care about, through the ups and the downs, through all the different wrenches that get thrown your way, through building a startup and scaling it. And honestly, I think if, I hadn't landed on a space and cause that I do care so deeply about, I wouldn't still be doing this. And then the last thing, and I always share this, is just surround yourself by, really smart people who are smarter than you, who can help you kind of achieve that dream and solve for that problem or cause. And I credit kind of all of the success Ash has had so far and what we've been able to do and the impact we've made to the team. So, yeah.
That's awesome. And again, it is at the end of the day, people that make things come together. You're stronger as a team than as an individual. So I appreciate the share on that, David. And David, it's a pleasure having you on today. And I look forward to speaking with you real soon.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me. Have a great day.
Bye for now.